Yo, what's up guys? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to JavaScript tutorial number 2. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to add comments and what are variables. So let's get started. First thing first, let's create a new file and let's name it tutorial number 2. It's up to you. You can use the previous file. Inside here, let's add script tags. And inside this, let's write document.write. And in here we'll say hello world, which we created in the last tutorial to make sure everything is working. And if we come back in here and refresh this, you'll see nothing is working. Why? Because this is a different page, so you need to reopen this and it says hello world. Now, what is a comment? A comment in JavaScript is used to add information about the code, such as what the code is about, or to add reminders for yourself. What do I mean by that? Let's say I want to write a comment which says this is a hello world program. The way I do it, I add double forward slashes, and after that I say this is a hello world program. Now when you add double forward slashes and you write something in front of it, the compiler or the browser will ignore or neglect this text and it will not try to understand it or will not look at it at all. It will just skip this text and go to this text directly. You can even change your code to a comment just like this. Now computer will not look at it because it knows whenever there are double slashes, it will not look at it at all, whatever it is. Okay, but if you have multiple lines, what do you do? Well, if you have multi-lines or multiple lines of comments, you can add slash asterisk, and the point where you want to close it, you will say asterisk slash. Means anything in between this will be considered a comment. Let's put an alert. Alert is just a pop-up, and let's say inside it, I love cookies. And I save this and come here and refresh this. As you can see, a pop-up comes and says I love cookies, and it did not interfere with the comment. But if I leave this, as you can see, it converts the alert also into comment, and if I try saving this and refreshing this, it will consider it a comment and it will not run this. Let's go to inspect and let's go to console. Let me delete this, and if you go in here, it says this is a comment, so there is nothing to run. So make sure you close it with asterisk and slash or forward slash. Now let us understand variables. What? Variables. What are variables? Variables are basically containers that can contain value. Let us suppose I have a variable called x and it contains value Ali. So the variable x is a container that contains value Ali. And by the way, they are also known as named containers because these containers have name. They also can have like my love equals, for example, let's say Sabrina. So she's my love. Okay, now we have a variable, and variable x contains value Ali, variable my love contains Sabrina. I can create something like this. I can say and if I plus and write x, it means I want the value after I want the value of x, and the value of x is Ali. So if I save this and come and refresh this, it says I'm Ali. Okay, good. I'll say plus means I want after that. What do I want? After that I want and I love plus my love. And so if I save this and come in here and refresh this again, after I'm done with this, it says I'm Ali and I love Sabrina. Looks nice. Okay, by the way, when you declare a variable, means when you create a variable, start with keyword var. Again, this is a variable, so you start with keyword var. the browser understands that it is a variable. So even if you don't put this, it will understand that this is a variable. But it is a good practice to put var, because we can directly see it is a variable and it is easy to read. And by the way, I forgot semicolon in here, so I'll save this again and come and refresh this. I am Ali and I love Sabrina. Okay, is this the only reason we use variables? No, actually there are a lot of reasons, and one of the most important reason is repetition. For example, I have created a program. I was asked by my boss to create a program which will be the biodata of someone. So let's say document dot write his name is, then after that we need his name, so X, let's suppose it's his name, and let us suppose we have 100 lines of it. Similar to this about this guy, I'll only have 4. So I go back to my boss and let me comment this out and tell him that I'm finished with the program, and he's like, oh, I meant not Ali, I meant George. And I'll be like, what the F is this? Come on, you should have told me. I have created 100 lines for this, and now you're telling me this is George? But this using variable is easy. Just I change it here because variables are changeable. We can change value of variable during the execution of program. So if I save this and come back in here and refresh this, it says my name is George, his name is George, his name is George, sorry, it says his name is George, and so on and so forth. You can add even br in here and save it and come back and refresh this. As you can see, copies in here. Okay guys, that was all for this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.